first gentleman this evening, and he is the chairman of the Kilkenny GAA, and that's Michael O'Neill. And of course it's a big night for Michael, as in fact Michael is a Kilmacow man, and you have a marvellous complex here. Would you like to tell us a little bit about it, Michael?
Well, it's a wonderful complex, and it's going to be a great boon to the parish. And as a matter of fact, hurling has been played in this field, I suppose, since the beginning of the association way back at the end of the last century, and it was always a great spot for games and a very dry pitch, and we look forward to great games here, and when it settles down I believe it will be a wonderful pitch.
This all started in 1979. Could you tell us from 1979, that's about 4 years ago, since then what has been the procedure with the complex?
Well, since then the main things done, I suppose, was first of all to get the money together, and the people of the parish rallied around, and it's thanks to them, I suppose, that it is now a reality. There was a lot of money involved. I don't know what the exact figure. You want to talk to the treasurer or some of those lads about it, but it's over the £100,000. So that's a lot of money for a small parish, and as I said, there's great credit due to the parishioners for the way they rallied around and paid in this money. And on top of that, I suppose, the people from the parish who left the parish years ago, they too helped, and they spent a lot of money on this venture.
Now, about some of the players that have come out of Kilmacow, would you like to say anything to us about them?
Yes, we've had great players. Now, we've hadn't an awful lot of inter-county players, but we've had a few, and a few good ones. I suppose the first man who comes to mind would be Mick Fleming. He won a Junior All-Ireland in 1956 with Kilkenny, and around the same time Paddy Hoban. Paddy was on the same team, but Paddy was too good. He was taken off the junior team to play with the seniors, and as a result lost his place on the All-Ireland winning team. But he was a member of that team earlier, and Paddy and Mick were the leading lights, if you like, at that particular time in the club. After that came along Senan Cook, and he won an All-Ireland senior medal with Kilkenny in 1972, and he also played in 1973. After that we had Dick McNamara. Dick is still playing, one of the leading lights at the moment, and he won his All-Ireland medal in 1975, I think it was, either 74 or 5, I think it's 75, yes. So that's the All-Ireland winning men, I think, as far as I know, that we have. But as I said, there were some other great men. They didn't unfortunately win All-Ireland medals, but nevertheless they were great hurlers and brought a lot of honour to the parish. Now,
would you think this complex will foster the game for the future?
I believe it will, yeah. It's bound to be, because if you look around, it's an ideal situation. It's ideally situated because it's in the village, and there's no problem for anybody from any part of the parish to get to it, and it's ideally situated, and it will be a great boon to the parish, I believe.
Thanks very much indeed for speaking.
Not at all.
On this historic occasion, we have, of course, the president of the GAA, Mr. Paddy Buggy, who is now going to say some words to us about this marvellous amenity that has been brought here to Kilmacow. Paddy, what are your first impressions of this marvellous complex?
The first impression is amazement. I played here on this area. It was known as the Farm then, and I'm sure it is still known as the Farm, and that's about 30 years ago. And you just couldn't visualise that you would have the amenities that you have here now, with the running track, the dressing rooms and the hurling pitch here before me. And the St. Senan's Club and the local community, they're to be congratulated on their work. They're excellent, and it's also a very beautiful setting. We're standing here behind a very small waterfall, and the banks and the trees surrounding the pitch. I think it's really a beautiful setting, and I hope that they will be well used. The people that put so much work and effort into them, they deserve that the young people of the area would use them to the full. I hope that that will happen, and that athletics, the other games, and particularly hurling and football, will prosper here in Kilmacow now that you have your own pitch. I would hope that the young people will recognise the value of these facilities and use them to the full. And that's the greatest tribute that they could pay to the officials and the people of the parish who did put so much work into this fine complex.
When you consider the parish, it's not that big of a parish, fairly scattered community, it must have taken a considerable amount of money to build dressing rooms and to do all the spade work, and the cost must have been astronomical. A great privilege, I'm sure, for all the people associated with it. Would you like to tell us anything about those that you know behind the scenes?
Well, I would prefer that you would talk to the local committee, like, to get their viewpoint and get them to fill you in on the local people involved. I understand that it was a local community committee, shared the costs and the work shared by the various sports organisations. I understand that the chairman was Liam Dalton, and that you couldn't give them praise enough or pay tribute enough to them for what they have done. That's as much as I can say about it.
Well, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us, Paddy Buggy.
You're very welcome.
Chairman of the Kilmacow Sports Complex is Liam Dalton, and a lot of the hard work behind this night is attributed to him, and a lot of years of hard work has gone into it. Liam, would you like to tell us a little bit about the complex?
Well, basically, I suppose we started this complex 4 years ago. Tonight we have the culmination of those 4 hard years' work. We started out with the idea of providing playing pitches for the youth of the parish, and we ended up doing the playing pitches, adding in 2 hardcore tennis courts, and at the end of the day we went on and we built a bridge, which you may have seen on the way in, and today we've spent about £75,000, and we're well on the way to clearing that debt. Tonight is the culmination, as I say, of 4 hard years' work for a very industrious committee.
Now, behind the committee you must have good parishioners and support from outside and all around the area. Would you like to mention any of the people that were closely associated with the complex?
Yes, well, it would be very difficult for me to mention individuals, I suppose. The complex is designed to cater for all the clubs in the parish. The committee is made up of various members of the clubs. You have 2 or 3 members from each individual club. To name them, you have St. Senan's GAA club, you have Kilmacow AFC, you have the tennis club, newly formed tennis club, and you have St. Senan's Athletic Club, which is quite strong. In fact, it's up to All-Ireland standards. And we have two new clubs taking part here now. We have Ballymountain Tug of War team, who only recently won the Munster Championships, and we have a volleyball club just formed. So our committee is made up of 2 or 3 representatives from each of those clubs, plus a few members of the parish committee. In fact, this is parish ground, and we're only developing it, if you like, as a parish amenity. It's not owned by the GAA, it's owned by the parish, and will always be owned by the parish.
Well, now the various organisations that you've been dealing with, how have they fared out to come and play? Are they utilising the facility at the moment?
Yes, well, the soccer pitch was officially opened in August last, where we had a Waterford team playing a local selection, and shortly after that, in fact at Easter time, we had the Athletic Club opened their grounds here, and they had an open sports here on Easter Monday, and that was a huge success. And as I say, this is the last big event, if you wish. It's the opening of the GAA pitch, but effectively it's the opening of the complete complex tonight.
Liam Dalton, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Just to say a few words. No, what I said is that people are singing the praises of the complex.
Yeah. We're in the show on the hurling company. I'll be talking.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, right. Okay, well, leave it then. Are you ready, Nick?
Go ahead.
Chairman of the St. Senan's Hurling Club is Peter Sweeney, and he's here, of course, for the historic occasion. Of course, it's a big night with Kilkenny and Cork here for the first time.
Well, it's actually it's the first time in the history of not alone our club but of our parish that we have staged an inter-county hurling game, and it is indeed a historic night for the entire parish of Kilmacow. And we're delighted, in fact, to have 2 teams of the calibre of Cork and Kilkenny participating here tonight. We have nothing against teams like Wexford or Offaly, but we think that there's so much happened down through the years between Cork and Kilkenny that it's always something special, like when Cork and Kilkenny meet. And we didn't want to meet Wexford anyway, or Offaly at this stage of the year, so we were waiting until the 19th of June, and we'll deal with Wexford then. So we won't be dealing with Cork until September, hopefully. You know, so
I know-
that's one of the reasons we have Cork here.
So now, a lot of just speaking to Paddy Buggy, the president of the GAA earlier on, and he was singing the praises of the ground, and he has played here previously. Now the ground looks in magnificent condition. The pitch is really very well.
Considering all the wet weather we've had, I think it's the wettest. It was the wettest April, I think, for about 80 years. I think the ground has stood up remarkably well. And we had a few problems over the last couple of weeks, but I think we've ironed them out. And as you say, the pitch is in beautiful order tonight. And we hope that it plays very well, which we're sure it will.
Peter Sweeney, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Are you ready? We're now speaking to Father Daly, who is the parish priest of Kilmacow. It must be a wonderful night for you, Father.
It is indeed a great night. I'm very pleased and hope it goes off successfully.
Well, now, looking at this thing going on for the past 4 years, how do you see the community reacting to it? They've all done splendid work, obviously.
Marvellous work, and I'll be saying a prayer for them now, and it will be all about the community spirit again that we'll be dealing with and blessing it. So,
Well, I hope the complex brings a lot of people to the area.
well, it's a rapidly expanding area. There are houses going up here every day. It's a big parish, so there's plenty opportunities for them to work off their surplus energy here.
And it's a wonderful amenity. It caters for such a lot of the different sports.
Yeah, everything. We have tennis there, soccer, hurling, football, everything. You name it, we have it.
Father Daly, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. I'm now going to speak to a well-known TD from Glenmore, Mr. Dick Dowling, who recently went up to Dáil Éireann. Unfortunately tonight he wasn't able to bring along with him a man that a lot of children would like to see here tonight, Mr. Christy Heffernan. Do you know anything about what happened to Christy?
Well, I saw him playing in Thomastown last Sunday, and I felt that he possibly wasn't fit. I expected that, possibly coming back from America after spending almost 4 weeks out there. And he probably didn't play as well as we'd like to have seen him play. And I didn't think, though, coming off the field that there was anything wrong with him. And it was a surprise to me during the week to find that he had a dislocated shoulder. So I'm hoping, in fact, that he'll be okay for the Lent.
19th of June is
Yes,
the big one.
that is in fact a very important game, because I think that's the game, in fact, that will tell whether Kilkenny can go on and win the All-Ireland. That's the one I'd be afraid of. I think most Kilkenny people are afraid of it also. And if we beat Wexford and try to win, there's every chance that we can go on and emulate last year's feat, which was particularly significant. And I think Christy Heffernan played such a vital role that his absence against Wexford certainly would be gravely missed.
Tony Doran could nip in there.
Well, Tony, of course, is playing a long time, and he's an old, skilled player. And we're always afraid of Tony Doran. I'm sure Wexford would equally be afraid of Christy Heffernan. But it's disappointing, I'm sure, for the people of Kilmacow here this evening that Christy is not here playing, particularly all the youngsters, in fact, around the area. I think Christy is a sort of an idol. I don't know what it is, but certainly he has captivated the minds of every youngster all over the place thereafter him. Ollie Welch had that particular facility in his time, but certainly Christy has taken it on.
He's a really
anyway.
marvellous player. Now, getting away from that for a moment, what are your first impressions here of this marvellous complex?
Absolutely wonderful. In fact, I have seen this grow out of a bog, and I think it's tremendous credit, in fact, to the local community here. They have never maybe distinguished themselves to the extent other clubs in the county on the hurling field, but they certainly have always been very active in the playing of our national games and in all sports. I mean, it's just not just hurling and football here in Kilmacow. It's a wonderful parish, and the fact that I live very, very close to it, I'm not just saying that because I'm living here and that I'm a politician in the area. I've always felt that about the Kilmacow people, that they have something different, they have tremendous dedication, and the amount of effort and time and money and factor into this, I think it speaks for itself. And you can see here this evening that it's really wonderful that this can be achieved here in a small little rural parish such as Kilmacow.
Dick Dowling, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. Thank you.
Yeah.
With the Waterford City Pipe Band playing in the background, we look at the very big crowd that has turned up on this marvellous evening here for Kilmacow. The dignitaries are also gathering behind us, and it won't be too long before the official opening will take place here in this marvellous sporting Kilmacow complex. Well, now, Liam Dalton, the chairman of the Kilmacow Sporting Complex, now about to give his official address.
Chairman of Kilmacow Sports Complex Committee and Treasurer of St. Helens GAA Club. This is my duty tonight, and my honour, if you wish, to welcome each and every one of you here to the opening of our new GAA pitch. This indeed is a very great occasion for St. Helens GAA Club. We haven't had a pitch of our own before, and this one is, I think, it's something to be proud of. It's a credit to the people of Kilmacow and those outside the parish who supported us down through the years in our fundraising, etc. I would like to welcome some very special guests here this evening. I would like to welcome the President of the GAA, Mr. Paddy Buggy, a neighbour of our own. I would also like to welcome Michael O'Neill, Chairman of the Kilkenny County Board. Paddy Grace, Secretary of the Kilkenny County Board. I would ask you not to clap them individually. There are quite a few. We also have here Frank Murphy, Secretary of the Cork County Board. You are indeed very welcome to Kilmacow, Frank. We have very Reverend Father Daly, PP, and Father Carl, I believe, is in the crowd somewhere. We also have our two local TDs, Liam Elwood and Dick Dowling. They were a considerable help to us down through the years. We have our parish chairman, Francie Welsh, and our own local mayor, Paddy Buggy. In GAA circles, we have John Healy, chairman of the Southern Board, Ted Carroll, chairman of the Northern Board. We have George Leahy, chairman of the Under-16 Board, Borden and Oak. And we also have Michael O'Brien, chairman of the Kilkenny County Council. We also have a representative of the VEC from Kilkenny. And we have a number of councillors who I'm not going to mention individually, but we have a number of the local county councillors who are of considerable help to us during the years with regard to planning permission, etc., etc. And I would like to thank everybody in that line who gave us support over the past 3 years. Without further ado, I would like to ask Paddy Buggy to address you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very proud evening in the history of Kilmacow Parish and in the history of the St. Helens Club. I congratulate everyone concerned with this wonderful venture. It's a very beautiful setting and it's a very fine pitch and sporting complex. And the people with great courage, people with great initiative that saw this development to its conclusion deserve the congratulations of everyone in Kilmacow and in the country really. 30 years ago, when I had the privilege of playing here on what is known as the farm, you couldn't visualise that you would have a sports centre such as we have here now. It's truly an amazing development. When we are congratulating the people of the present day, the people who made this evening possible, there are others who had a big say in the past and who really led up to what happened and inspired the people of today to do the work that they have just completed. Very early in the first year of the GAA in 1884, when there was a fine football team here. They won the first Kilkenny Senior Football Championship played in 1887 and they completed the double in 1888 and could well have won an All-Ireland Championship, but for the fact that the championships were abandoned in 1888. People who through the years gave grounds here for the playing of games. I know that there are many, I'll just name a few of them: the Narrabeen pitch, Milltown, Dunkit and the farm itself here. To come on and follow on the Kilmacow football story, in 1942 you won a junior football championship, and in 1956 part of your double you won the junior football. In hurling you had two teams in the area at times, the Dunkit Ramblers and Kilmacow. But it's really since the reorganisation of the club around the 1950 period that you have been a stronghold, a really strong group here. In 1950 you were reorganised, as I said. In 1956 you completed the double, hurling and football. And if Croke Park produces its county heroes, it is true of clubs like Kilmacow that Sunday after Sunday, for the honour of the local club St. Sennans, you produce your heroes, and your supporters follow them with every bit as much enthusiasm as we follow the county teams throughout the years. I would hope that everyone attending the game this evening, and really the people of the parish of Kilmacow, that you would purchase the programme, because it gives a brief history and a record of all the fine people and the teams that played for Kilmacow down through the years. I would like to compliment and congratulate the chairman of the Kilkenny County Board, Michael O'Neill, a Kilmacow man. I'm sure he is very proud of you this evening. He is typical of the type of official that clubs like St. Sennans produce. He is one of the most successful chairmen that the Kilkenny County Board has ever had, and he has the proud record of leading Kilkenny to 6 Senior All-Ireland titles. We have so many problems in today's world, in today's Ireland really, that we should be very grateful to the people who provide facilities such as these. We should consider the value of sport in today's life.
Thank you very much indeed, Paddy, for your kind words. I would like to call now on Michael O'Neill, Kilkenny County Chairman, to say a few words to you.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. President, Reverend Fathers, ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed a proud night. For introduction, I think I overlooked somebody very important.
President, Reverend Fathers, and guests. I am indeed proud to be the chairman of the St. Sennans Club here tonight. I would like to extend indeed a very special welcome to all of you here on your visit to our parish this evening. I would like indeed to especially welcome the President of Kilmacow Sports to Kilmacow, Mr. Paddy Buggy. As Liam already said, Paddy is an old friend of ours and indeed a neighbour of ours, and we are very, very honoured that Paddy has honoured us here tonight by his presence. This is indeed, as Liam has said, an historic occasion for the parish of Kilmacow. It is the first time in our history that we have staged a senior inter-county hurling game. And in this respect, I must say thank you very much to the county boards of Cork and Kilkenny for providing 2 of Ireland's premier teams to open our pitch here this evening. I won't hold you any further, ladies and gentlemen, only I wish you all a very happy evening here this evening and hope we have a very enjoyable game. Garamila Mahagat.
Is cúisio tos a freisin bhean sa no caiitsio agus mílam mo bhuichas a gháil a sochtan cuireadós a bheith láthir. Is mílam haar ceann costa chunta Corky mo cógardachas a dhéanú le Kilmacow no caiits na rúsio oscailt if a gúil na partisio. It is a privilege for me also to be here on this very auspicious occasion for the St. Sennans Club and for the people of Kilmacow in general. I would like to say that we are indeed privileged to be associated with this event by having our team play in this magnificent field. Our playing here indeed reflects the esteem that we have for our great friends in Kilkenny. There have been great links, great traditional links between us down the years, and long may these continue to be the friendly and close links that have been associated with us, our 2 counties in the past. And I should mention also that your good chairman of your county board here, native of Kilmacow, is a man that we in Cork hold in very high esteem, and I'm sure you all appreciate the tremendous service that he has given to you here and notably to your county as a great leader of men, a great leader of teams that have brought such magnificent success to your county. And I would conclude by just saying that we are again delighted to be here on this very special occasion for you. And may this field bring great success to you here in Kilmacow, to your club St. Sennans and to Kilkenny in general. Garabila Mahabu.
Before the pitch is officially opened by Antoktaron, I would like you to hear Father Will Daly, our local PP, say a few words and officially bless the pitch.
I think there's been enough talking, and I'll just bless the pitch for you.
Father in heaven, we thank you for this community centre which we are opening today. Bless this playing pitch and all who use it. Grant that all the activities that take place here will build up a spirit of community among us and lead to the well-being of all our citizens. Bless this field which we now dedicate to the service of this community. Bless your people as they use this centre. Bring your peace and joy into their lives and fill them with your happiness. Father, we give you thanks and praise forever and ever. Amen. And may Almighty God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit bless you all.
Cork Shaw, Oscar de Gohibigul. Ladies and gentlemen, it's remarkable, but it is true, that in all the pitches that I've opened, we've never had a wet evening. And I think the man above must favour people who develop grounds and people who work for youth. I'm very glad that Kilmacow have a fine crowd for the opening. The two teams here deserve that. And I now officially declare this, the St. Senan's Kilmacow pitch open. I hope that all the games played here will be sporting and fine examples of Gaelic games.
These 11 goals we've been hearing about you left in there in 2 games.
Yeah, sure, they're only minor details, like, you know, if there's anyone listening to me, you will hear about it at all.
When the crunch comes, you'll be there stopping them as good as ever, I'm sure.
Ah, sure, we'll be thereabouts anyway, like, you know, we're doing our best, yeah.
No, seriously, what do you think of this marvellous pitch and complex here?
Well, to me, like, it's fantastic, you know, especially a club like Kilmacow, like a small club like, you know, to have such a pavilion and a pitch like this is I suppose if all the other big so-called teams, as we call them, around the county and other counties, like, see the like of this being done in Kilmacow, they should be ashamed of themselves, like, you know, this is fantastic, like, for a club in Kilmacow, you know.
What about the Cork opposition tonight? They'll be here to give you a bit of a challenge.
The point about it is Cork are very strong tonight. We're kind of short a few, so I'd imagine Cork will be a bit too strong for us, like, you know. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, you're coming, one could say, to the twilight of years. You have no intentions of retiring or doing anything like that, I'm sure.
Well, I didn't hear about it yet anyway, to be honest, but I didn't hear a whisper anyway, you know. Well, the point about it is, you know, I'm probably on borrowed time at this stage, so, you know, it doesn't really worry me, you know. The point is just stay going till you drop down, you know. But the point is, then again, if you're enjoying it, like, why should you give it up, you know?
Well, as you can see now, the teams are breaking up and getting into their positions for what should be a really most enthralling and exciting game. The referee for the big match here tonight in Kilmacow is Pascal Long. I hope it's not going to be a long night on you. Pascal, you're officiating how long?
Oh, I've had about 6-7 years now, but I'm in inter-county for the last 3 years.
And what's the biggest game that you've done?
Well, the quarter-final last year was league between Wexford and Cork.
And how are you looking forward to tonight's game?
Oh, immensely. It'll be a big, should be a good game. Good open hurling, let the play run.
What about this complex? They're all singing the praises of it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Fine pitch. How would it compare to the ones that you're seeing around?
Well, it's the best one I've seen so far anyway.
Thanks very much indeed, Pascal, for speaking to us.
The centre half forward for Cork, who is John Myler, and this player who played with Wexford 2 years ago, taking a shot there and sending it wide. Noel Skeen back there in goal now, and the sub-goalie Kevin Fennelly playing at corner back this evening. A long puck, Kilkenny of course favoured by the breeze here now, as the ball comes out there to where the newcomer to the Cork team, John Allen, sends it up here to John Myler. John Myler sends it up in the corner where Kevin Hennessy has it for Cork. Kevin Hennessy takes a shot, it's dropping out to the left of the post and it's gone wide. Well, Cork here have more or less the team that they selected for the game. Absent is Shawnee O'Leary and also Tim Crowley, and they have been replaced by Kevin Hennessy at corner forward and John Fenton in the middle of the field. Kilkenny have a couple of changes. Paddy Neary and Joe Hennessy aren't playing. Harry Ryan has moved back. Kieran Brennan has come on in here as a half forward. But the ball comes up here now to the Cork full back, Donald Grady. Donald Grady sends it in there to where Kieran Brennan sends it across there to Liam Fennelly. 21 yards out, Liam takes a shot left-handed and puts it over the bar to further increase the Kilkenny lead now to 6 points for Kilkenny, 2 points for Cork. A pass there out to Kevin, or to Liam Fennelly, and Liam putting it over the bar left-handed for a point for Kilkenny. Christy Heffernan, of course, an absentee from the Kilkenny team tonight. Christy dislocated his shoulder last Sunday night in the championship. Gerald Cunningham, the St. Finbarr's man, pucking it out, dropping it in the middle of the field. Eamon Wallace going there along with Tom Cashman. Eamon Wallace sends it up there where Richie Power is there, but it's Ger Finley who sends it along the ground. Kieran Brennan pulling along with John Buckley. John Buckley gets the better of it, but it goes out here to Frank Cummins. Frank, however, is beaten this time by the centre half hour John Myler. But in comes Frank Cummins, gets the ball and left-handed. He sent that all along one, dropping away out of the square now as Billy Fitz and Dermot McCurtain goes in under it. Gerald Cunningham goes over the goal. He drops the ball. Billy Fitz has it, but he sends it right across the square. Gerald Cunningham recovers and gets the ball out. Send it out here to where Kieran Brennan. But in comes John Fenton for Cork. John Fenton, right-handed, sends it away down the field there. But out comes Brian Cody, and Brian Cody sends it, playing his first game with the county in Ireland since September. Brian did play in New York, but he comes up there. In it goes there to Billy Purcell. Billy Purcell going along with Brian Murphy. Brian, of course, the Kilkenny base Garda, but it's Billy Purcell who sends it in. A grand point there by Billy Purcell from way out on the side. The Phoenix Johnstown player coming out there and further putting Kilkenny ahead 7 points to 2. But of course the breeze here, a very strong breeze here in favour of Kilkenny in the first half. Gerald Cunningham pucking out the ball, dropping into the middle of the field there. Harry Ryan going up there for it, along with Pat Horgan. Pat Horgan gets it out there, but back goes Ger Henderson. Ger Henderson gets it out a small bit to where Tom McCormick gets it out on the ground. John Fenton whips it in on the ground there, but as Noel Skeen watches at the post, the ball goes to the right of the post and it goes wide. Kevin Fennelly in the unaccustomed position at corner back. Kevin, of course, having played as a forward, and of course is the sub goalie on the side. Noel Skeen coming out to puck up the ball now for Kilkenny, and with the breeze behind him, he's dropping it away down where John Buckley and Kieran Brennan is in under it, but it's John Crowley who gets it down there to where Eamon Wallace is there. John Fenton is coming for Cork, but Eamon Wallace gets the better of it and sends it left-handed out over the line here, and it's a line ball for the Corkman, which will be pulled in the air, but it comes John Buckley. However, Kieran Brennan tips it on a bit further for Cork. Back in there is John Buckley, but Ger Finley has possession, working his way through now. He has Richie Power on the outside of him. He sends it out to Richie Power, but Richie tried to get it back to him, but not with any success. It goes back to John Allen, and it goes out there to John Fenton, and John Fenton sends it dropping in there where Kevin Hennessy, Jimmy Barry Murphy and Brian Cody gets it in there to Kevin Hennessy of Cork. Kevin Hennessy takes a shot, and it's a point for Cork, scored by Kevin Hennessy of Middleton, who of course replaces Shawnee O'Leary on this Cork team this evening, and that makes the score now Kilkenny 7 points, Cork 3 points. Noel Skeen pucking out the ball. The opening, of course, this game in aid of the opening of this new pitch here, and a very natural pitch here. Richie Power gets the ball there pretty well in the air, and left-handed Richie sends it high and over the bar. A very good point there by Richard Power for Kilkenny, getting possession from the puck out in the air, working his way through, and left-handed he put it over the bar. And Richie, of course, who missed a lot of Kilkenny's games in the National League owing to the an injured hand, back again playing with the Kilkenny team and playing well, as he's proved with that point there a minute ago. Gerald Cunningham, when he gets the breeze behind him in the second half, we can expect tremendous long puck out. John Myler, as I said, the former Wexford player, sends it out there, but Harry Ryan is there for Kilkenny, and Harry Ryan right-handed sends it up here where Liam Fennelly is going out there for along with Donald O'Grady, but it's Billy Fitzpatrick and Dermot McCurtain. Fitzpatrick tried to get across, he gets it in there to Liam Fennelly, but O'Grady gets it out as well, but goes out there to Dermot McCurtain. Dermot McCurtain left-handed sends it out there to Tom Cashman. Tom Cashman down here where Bertie Murphy is out there along with Sean Fennelly, sends it up here between John Buckley and Kieran Brennan. Kieran Brennan, however, holding John Buckley and Pascal Long, awarding the free to Cork, which will be taken by John Fenton. And of course John Fenton, a tremendous striker of the ball, and against the breeze here, he's a little beyond the 70 yards, about 75 yards out from the goal now. Up comes John, and he sends it dead on target, dropping into the square there. It's blocked out by Noel Skeen, goes out there to Tom McCormick. Tom McCormick gets it out there, goes back to Jimmy Barry Murphy, out to Ger Henderson, and Ger Henderson left-handed sends it up here where John Allen is going for the ball there, but Liam Fennelly has moved out from full forward. He cuts it back out to Richard Power. I think it's gone too far. No, it's not. Richard Power gets it out on the line there where to Billy Fitzpatrick, and Billy Fitzpatrick gets it up there, doesn't succeed the first time, gets it past John Allen, and then he sends it right across there, but Liam Fennelly was in kind loose. Gerald Cunningham drops the ball in the goal. It comes out there. Back goes Donald O'Grady, the full back, and right-handed Donald O'Grady sends it dropping out where Ger Fennelly goes up there along goes out here to Frank Cummins. Frank Cummins busted his way, taps it across there the field, but back goes his clubmate Tom Cashman. They're not on the same team tonight, but they play with the same team in Cork, and it goes out there to Harry Ryan, and Harry Ryan sends it in there, but Gerald Cunningham grabs the ball in the goal and he clears it up, a high one into the middle of the field. Up they go for it. Harry Ryan is up in there, so also is Bertie O'Murphy. Harry Ryan gets possession of the ball, trying to work his way through, hand passed it out here to Ger Fennelly. Ger Fennelly is chopped however by John Crowley, and it's a free in for Kilkenny, and Billy Fitzpatrick is coming out to take it. Billy Fitzpatrick, the Phoenix clubman, coming out to take this free. Billy, of course, who had a plaster removed from his hand recently and still bandaged, but it doesn't seem to make any difference to him as he sends this one, however, to the left of the post, and it goes wide. The puck out, dropping down between Harry Ryan and Pat Horgan, and the ball runs through there. Now Harry Ryan goes back for it for Kilkenny, and Harry tagged by two Corkmen, but however he gets it, he strokes it up there now where John Allen blocks it down. Goes out there now to where Ger Henderson is with Pat Horgan. Pat Horgan sends it across there to Kevin Hennessy. Kevin Hennessy gets it up, tries to hand pass it back to Pat Horgan. It goes off Ger Henderson, I think. Yes, it's a line ball for Cork, and it'll be taken by Tom Cashman. Tom Cashman, the Cork midfielder. A good puck along. What a way down there now where Brian Cody blocks it out there. Comes out to Ger Henderson, and Ger Henderson left-handed sends it up here between Kieran Brennan and John Buckley. It's blocked down there. Kieran Brennan has possession, however. Going back down there, Kieran, who was in the Lebanon for 6 months, followed the All-Ireland bin and trying to work his way back into the Kilkenny team. But back there is John Allen, can't get it up the ball. Richard Power gets in there for Kilkenny. They're tussling away there, and the referee awarding a free to Kilkenny, or is it? Yes, it's a free to Kilkenny there, as against John Allen, the referee, of course, and Richard Power coming from the same club, from Carrickshock Club. Billy Fitzpatrick bends, lifts, strikes, and he sent that in, but Gerald Cunningham blocks it down on the goal there, and then he goes after it himself, and Fennelly tries to get it up. He doesn't succeed. Out comes Kevin Fennelly. Kevin Fennelly bets it up here to the middle of the field, and it's John Buckley up here to John Fenton. John Fenton sidesteps Frank Cummins, tries left-handed, then sends it along the ground there where Bertie O'Murphy sends it away up into the corner. Going out there for it is Kevin Hennessy along with Tom McCormick. Kevin Hennessy takes a shot, and he sends it over the bar there for a point for Cork to level the scores once again. Kilkenny 10 points, Cork 1 goal and 7 points, and that point there by Kevin Hennessy for Cork.
We're now speaking to Tom Royal, who's been doing the commentary for you during the first half. We had some problems with cameras and that, and Tom kindly stepped in because I haven't got a clue who most of these guys. Have you got a keen interest in hurling and football, obviously?
Yeah, that's right. It's my main pastime. Like, I just follow it. Like, and I'm PRO for the Kilkenny County Board, so yeah. I kind of follow the game like very much. Yeah.
You're telling me about a little club that you're involved with.
Yeah, we're just a junior club now, like Greig Ballycallan, but they were senior once and won a senior county final in Kilkenny in 1949. So we have a bit of history behind us.
Tom, you told something that you do. You're a bit of a historian, is that right?
Well, I don't know whether that, but I am writing the history of the Kilkenny GAA. I haven't finished actually now, and it's been edited for me and things like that. So we hope to have it out for 1984.
Right. Well, what do you think of this Kilkenny side here tonight?
Well, of course, it's really, I suppose, an exhibition game. Like, you know, the real hard tackling of championship hurling isn't there. But it's a grand, even, nice game. Like, you know, and Cork have a good team here tonight, and Kilkenny have a reasonably good team too. Like, so, like, both of them have brought their top players. Like, and it's good for the spectators that turned up here because they're quite a big crowd here.
Now, tell me, if I was to ask you very quickly, who would be your top couple of players for Kilkenny over the years? Who would you mention?
Well, you mean, well, since I came on, I suppose, like, I'd have to take Eddie Kerr as being the man that, well, won most matches for it. Yeah, that's right, yeah, that won most matches. But then, like, you know, you had men like Pat Henderson and Pat Delaney, Kieran Purcell, Ollie Welsh in the goal when he was some fantastic displays, and you know, men like Van Larkin. Like, you could roll off a whole history of them.
Now, another one of your hobbies, I believe, is the community radio in Kilkenny.
Yeah, I do the GAA Sports programme on it for a quarter of an hour of a Saturday evening, and I give the results then of a Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. We We might be off the air soon, but sure, we might get a licence too, so we have to...
we have a TD here tonight, Dick Dowling. He might be able to look after you.
Yeah, I know Dick all right, well, yeah.
Well, listen, we hope our batteries last here, and we look forward to your commentary in the second half of the match. Thanks very much, Nick, for speaking to us, Tom.
Bye. Thank you.
Where are you from yourself?
You're off.
You're on. Tom is a neighbour of mine. We're a break that. Tom is, now I know Tom went to school with a neighbour of mine, and he's, you could say, influence since he was that age. He has piles and piles of scrapbooks, books, and he's really authority on how many Kilkenny. He is in fact right in the history of how many Kilkenny. In that fact, just mental instance, they got a typewriter at home, so I can say we're honoured that he's doing it on our typewriter. These are just fantastic having them Tom. Yeah. Very quiet.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what's on DJ, no?
Well, as we have a look at the marvellous crowd that's here this evening, we see down the far end of the field the Irish Red Cross Society from Waterford out looking after us in case we have anybody hurt, and I hope, of course, that doesn't happen. In the meantime, the players are having a well-deserved rest after a fairly hectic first half. But now I'd like just to mention that the complex, of course, can be attributed to an enormous amount of people. The committee owe a deep debt of gratitude to all the voluntary work and the planners, the engineers, the accountant, the people who supported the £100 interest-free loan. The response to that was marvellous. The talent within the committee and outside it, all pulled together. The potential of this successful committee is a real banner to be flown for the rest of not only Kilkenny but the country as a whole. The County Council, the VEC grants, the youth employment schemes, the Poker Classic function in the Blackwater Tavern and the Fox's Jew, the cooperation from Scouts, the Fun Fiesta, sponsored walks, as well as the help from the ICA, the Dunkit Ladies, the Pioneers and the preschool groups. These are all to be congratulated for helping to make this marvellous complex the success that it has been. The committee has between 20 and 26 members who hold regular monthly meetings, so the parish can be assured of an ongoing interest in the work of the complex to cater for whatever needs may arise in the future. The committee take this opportunity to thank all those who have helped in any way to make this complex possible. And of course, what a distinguished number of people that we've had speaking to us this evening. Of course, we will remember with fond affection the kind words of the president of the complex starts up. Of course, we also have the chairman of the Kilkenny County Board, Kilmacow man. We now hand you back for second half coverage of the match.
For the record, Cork ran out winners on a score of 313 to 212. The official opening this evening was supported by a large group of sponsors, the primary one being the Kent Group of companies, comprising Kent Quarries, Kent Motors, Kent Builders Providers and Southeastern Bungalows. Other local sponsors included Avonmore Creamery, Roadstone Limited, Allied Irish Banks, Tom Caulfield Shanty Bar, John and Paddy Caulfield Ballybeg, Francie Welsh Dacia Hire, Sean Croke Ballygriffin, Mick Corcoran Newra Homes, Tom Geraghty Tyres, Liam Dalton Fitzgerald Insurances, Billy Hendley Plantire, Liam Williams Steel and Coachworks, B Halls Mech Electric Limited, Eddie Kearns Edmina Developments, O'Shea O'Toole and Partners, Tony Dowling Newra Service Station, Jim Phelan Milltown Limited, George Porter Dunkit Turkey Farm, Dennis Harney Bakery and Grocery, Michael P. Walsh Engineering, Edward Irish Irish's Bar, Declan Power Ballymountain, Des Scahill The Fox's Den, Presentation Sisters Kilmacow, David Doyle Concrete, Roller Commercials Limited and Roller International Transport Limited. A sincere thanks to all of the foregoing for their generosity.